Vanguard Veterans launch themselves into the fray. These warriors descend from above like true angels of death to deliver the Emperor's vengeance. Blood Angel Vanguard Veterans are recognizable by their golden helmets and their inner red thirst that drives them into the enemy. Hello there and welcome to this video all about painting Blood Angel's Vanguard Veterans. Let's waste no more time and jump straight into it. All the paints that we're using are on screen now. These are the colours of the Blood Angels. And here's also a list of the additional equipment and extra things that we're going to be using. Before we get started, our mini first needs an undercoat. We're using Mechanica Standard Grey for our Vanguard Veteran today, which sets us up nicely. But if you're in a rush to get loads of models done quickly, Mephiston Red Spray is a great one to use instead. Awesome, let's get started with some base coats. Let's start with all the red armour using the aptly named Mephiston Red. You'll need a few layers of this, and whilst there's no need to be neat because this is our first base coat, being tidy here will better allow you to see the areas that we need to paint later. With that done, let's move on to the rest of our base coats. First, let's use Abbadon Black to base coat all the black areas across our Vanguard Veteran. So that's the holster, undersuit, tabard, power sword handle, gun casing, aquila, and also the eye lenses. We don't have to be super neat here, just be as careful as you can around all the red armour. Up next, let's use Retributor Armour to pick out the shoulder pad trim, the helmet, some details on the sword, and finally any small accessories like this part on the leg. You'll need to apply several thin layers of this for a nice smooth coat. Once you're happy with the Retributor Armour, we can move on to picking out all the silver details using Leadbelcher. With that done, we're on to a super simple one. Next, base coat the left knee pad using Macragge Blue. Nice and easy. For the Crux Terminatus, we can use Dawnstone. It may seem a little bright right now, but we'll darken it down later. And the same is true for the rubble on the base, which we're also base coating. We're nearly finished with our base coats now. All that's left are the purity seals dotted around the model. Firstly, let's pick out the wax using Screamer Pink, and then we can pick out the parchment using Screaming Skull. This is quite a thin paint, so you may need an extra layer or two than normal. But with that done, our Blood Angel's Vanguard Veteran is now fully base coated and ready for some shading. Let's start with Norn Oil, using it to recess shade the red armour, the blue knee pad, and the Screamer Pink details. Once you're happy with the recess shade, we can also apply an all-over shade to all the Leadbelcher and the Crux Terminatus as well. For all the gold areas and the Purity Seal parchment, apply a shade of Gore-Grunta Fur mixed with some Lamia Medium to make it a little more subtle. This is a great colour for shading gold as it adds loads of warmth. And with that done, that's our Blood Angel's Vanguard Veteran fully shaded. He's looking great so far, but before we move on to highlights, let's quickly finish up the remaining details. A key detail missing is those iconic green eye lenses. Let's start by base coating each lens using Caliban Green. Now we don't want this to totally cover the black that we've already added, but almost sit within it. Don't worry if it's a little messy at this stage. With that done, now let's add a small amount of Warpstone glow towards the middle of the helmet in each eye lens like so. Once again, don't worry if it's not super neat, we can go back with Abbadon Black later to neaten up once we're done. And to finish off the effect, let's add a tiny amount of Moot Green as an edge highlight to the bottom of the lenses. And with that done, all that's left is to add some reflection dots using Corax White and blammo, some awesome eye lenses. While we've got Corax White on our palette, we can also use this to base coat the skull on the base, and then the plasma coil and power sword node ready for some contrast paints. Speaking of which, once we've applied several layers and are happy with the base coat, apply Aethermatic Blue to both the plasma coils and the power sword node. And there we are. With that done, if you're happy, feel free to skip straight to basing and send your Vanguard Veteran off to the battlefield. But if you want to take him up a notch, stick around for some highlights. Let's start by highlighting all the main section of the model, the red armour, using Wild Rider Red. And with that done, just on the corners and most raised edges, let's add a small amount of Fire Dragon Bright to it too, to really sell the effect. For all the metallic details across the model, so that's the gold and the silver, let's highlight them both using Stormhost Silver. There's loads of different ways to highlight black, but today we're using Dawnstone. And that's to highlight all the different black details across the model, and we can also use this to highlight the Crux Terminatus as well. And with that done, there's just a couple small areas left to finish up now. Firstly, let's highlight the Macragge Blue section using Calgar Blue, and then all the Purity Seal wax using Screamer Pink. And there we are. All that's left now is to base your model to match the rest of your Blood Angels army. I'm using Armageddon Dust texture paint, shading it with Seraphim Sepia, dry brushing it with Screaming Skull, and then painting the base rim using Steel Legion Drab. Add all the transfers that you fancy adding, and blammo. With that all done, there we are. This Blood Angel's Vanguard Veteran is ready to descend from above like a true Angel of Death. But anyways, that's all from me. Thanks for watching this video. In the meantime, if you are looking for more tutorials, go straight to warhammercommunity.com for the latest Warhammer news and content. Thanks again for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.